Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick comparison here for the Xiaomi Mi A1, a new budget phone which borrows a lot of design cues from Apple here with its iPhone 7 Plus. I'm going to do a comparison of the build, check out how the camera performs, etc, etc. Because obviously, Xiaomi has been putting out some excellent phones recently, and this one is no exception. You are getting a stock Android build. You're also getting 4 gigs of RAM and a dual kind of bokeh camera here, all for about €200. Very attractive actually in terms of design as well. So we can just start them up at the same time and see, how they do compare here. So I think obviously some people might be wanting to see the iPhone 7 Plus compared here, because obviously a lot of people are actually still buying the iPhone 7 Plus, prefer it over the iPhone 8 for some reason. I personally do as well, I think, in terms of the metal back. So in terms of the Xiaomi, I think this is their first stock Android phone, and you will notice how it does differ actually from like the startup, where it actually comes up to enter a SIM, which I find quite annoying actually. Hopefully they'll disable that on future updates. But a pretty awesome thing I have noticed with the Xiaomi is that basically the updates like install in the background, so you don't have to faff around with the updating too much. You did see that pop up there, but I got rid of it quite quickly. In terms of the actual software here, you can see nice stock kind of build, quite close to actually what you're going to get with Google's own phones. So if you are a fan of that and a fan of the quick updates, you're going to particularly enjoy, I think, coming here to a clean software build. In terms of the actual display, I'd say it's probably a little bit not quite as good as what you're going to get with the iPhone here. It does the job. I think it's full HD, so about the same kind of pixel density. And if I am, going to be nitpicking, I think the iPhone does a little bit better in terms of the maximum brightness. I think we have them both on pretty much the brightest here, as you can see. So you're going to be able to see, the phone outdoors. It's going to be pretty good in that respect. But I think they could have put an OLED in there. I definitely think if Lenovo can do it with the P2, then Xiaomi can start using OLED. But nevertheless, Xiaomi does do some fantastic screens, and this one is no exception here. In terms of the performance, I'd say they're very comparable day to day. Obviously, if you're going to be nitpicking, the iPhone does have slightly better in terms of the specs, but I think really for most average users, I haven't noticed any slowdown with the Snapdragon. I think it's 625 in there. Very efficient processor, probably among the best when it comes to the efficiency, like the power and the battery draw. So again, very wise choice if you ask me in terms of the processor. Much better than what you're going to get in like Nokia's Nokia 6, which comes with the 400 series processor. So pretty nice choice there. However, there are some big drawbacks I think with the A1 that you need to be aware of here, which I wasn't aware of when I got it. No NFC. That is unforgivable in like 2017. NFC, you can use it for your Android Pay, you can use it for pretty much anything nowadays. Well, if you look in the settings here, you won't actually find the NFC, which I didn't think that would be possible anymore. So, if NFC is a big deal to you, you are going to miss that, unfortunately. I think Apple is sticking obviously with its Apple Pay and is more locked down in terms of its NFC standard, but at least it's there at the end of the day, so do bear that in mind. I think I was going to say no fingerprint scanner, but you do get that on the back obviously, so it's not on the front. Some people do prefer it on the back. It's not a huge deal. In terms of the other drawbacks, I'd say the charging of the phone is quite slow. I have noticed it's got no I think fast charge support, like many phones at this price range, do have fast charge support. So again, a massive omission there for the Xiaomi, especially as you can get probably like a cheaper Xiaomi which does have fast charge support. So I'm not sure why, you know, they got rid of that. So in terms of the camera, that is something I was also interested in, because it is coming with a dual kind of portrait mode here, which you can put on in the camera settings, as you can see. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, you know, I think I found it extremely temperamental to use day to day, and it was so annoying actually. I just felt like turning it off and just sticking with the you know, the normal kind of camera setup. I don't understand why manufacturers, you know, they put this fancy tech in, but they don't actually optimize the experience. I would have much rather like a camera on the level of the Galaxy S6 or something than what they've done here. In terms of the daylight shots, you know, you're going to get decent shots from it, but if you just look at the bokeh mode, this is like bokeh mode shot compared with the iPhone. It's no contest at the end of the day. You know, it's not as good in terms of the blurred background. If we actually look at some other shots here that we did do, I'd say, you know, it's very decent, but the colours aren't quite there, I don't think, with your iPhone kind of standard here, which is still a very good shooter. Probably not as good as the iPhone 8, but you know, you can see here low light as well, quite lacking really. I don't think it has optical image stabilization, so you know, you are going to suffer a little bit, but for most people it will do at the end of the day. You know, it is a €200 phone, but just don't expect anything too magical here. Same can be said as well for the video recording. You know, it can't hold a candle to a more expensive phone here. You can see it's dark, underexposed, and doesn't support the best stabilization, but it's decent at the end of the day. You know, it's not a huge kind of deal, but I was expecting a little bit more for the price range, because you could get the Moto G5 Plus, which has a fantastic camera at the end of the day. So yeah, just a quick little review here of the Xiaomi Mi A1. I'm very actually interested in this phone because it has stock Android on board, and I think it's a good direction for Xiaomi to go, particularly as, you know, phones are getting more expensive. So companies like Xiaomi can make some headway here. Indeed, I will be doing some speed tests with it and checking out the gaming as well shortly, so do stay tuned for that. Hope you found the video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.